So we cleaned up the gasket material under the oil pan with a nice little razor blade, cheap one. Here's the old oil pan. And this actually was cleaned up years ago with Pour 15 to keep it from rusting. And it wasn't that bad. And just rotted out. Or it's actually leaking through the pan. So what we're doing, this is a replacement. I touched it up, painted it. RTV Black Ultra. This is a silicone gasket maker. It's about $7, but you want the better stuff, of course. I don't know if there's a part number for it. Just maximum. And it says assemble parts while silicone's wet. Finger tight till material begins to squeeze out around the flanges. Drive for 1 hour, then tighten the torque specs. And the torque specs weren't that tight, just basically tight as you can get them with your hand. What were they? They were 22. Yeah, 22 foot-pounds. There's a spec. So we'll put this on and we'll do another video once we get it on. And we can't hold it from here. Actually, I decided I'm going to show you how to put it on. It's just real easy. Just open it up. There's a little hole. Punch it. Stick it around the whole thing. I usually go around both sides of the bolt holes. Get a nice good coverage. Not too thick. Definitely not too thin because this is going to make the gasket. And the factory one didn't look like there was that much on it in the first place. That's pretty much it for the most part. And yeah, if you put too much, it's going to go all over the engine compartment. You don't want that. Cap it up. Good for a long time. Just smear it with your hands, nice and smeary. Don't worry about covering up the bolt holes. The bolts will poke on themselves. Spread it around nice and even. Try to keep it out from the inside of the pan. Then actually you can just wipe off a towel. There you go. It's fine if it hangs on the outside, you just don't want it on the inside of the thing. And this is about right. Just a nice semi-thin coverage. And now we can assemble it on the oil in the car. And this is let an hour after you just barely put the bolts on, and you can tighten it down. Yeah, if you got enough, it'll just smear out, spread out anyways. And it doesn't have to be thick, super thick. I think we're okay. Okay, let me pause it while we put the oil pan on. Oil pan is real easy to put on. I don't know if you can see that well. Try to angle a little bit better. It's just awesome. I love that stuff. It cleans up anything. And it's at the most dollar stores. Stick it on here. Stick it up here. That's pretty much it. Grab a bolt or two. And I highly, highly suggest anti-seize on these. We're just going to put one or two until we get anti-seize on it. On all the other bolts. And if I have my ratchet. Yeah, we'll do it by hand. There we go. Now let me pause it while I finish this. You got the idea how it goes on, just slides on super easy. Okay, we got one bolt started because I couldn't hold it and do this at the same time. This is one I kind of stripped out, so I'll go in the front. Make sure the bolts are clean. I got a wire brush, I just hand wire brush them if I have to. Usually gets most of the stuff off. And this is anti-seize. It's supposed to wash out less than grease. Sorry about that. See if we can prop this up. It ain't gonna move anywhere. Anti-seize. You can use grease if you have to. Put a little on the bolt. Just a little. You don't need that much. And we already got one bolt started. And get the other bolts, and then we can go from there. So I'm just using a 1/4-inch nut driver. And I like this one. It's a cheap one. Local tool store, cheap tool store. But it actually gives you, it can move and stuff like that. And then we're using a flex head. Or a little, what do you call this little thing? It's flexible. I love these. That gives you a little bit more room because some of these are a little bit harder to get to. Wobble. Or something like that. They call them a little grease, and then that's it. And just do your slightly do your torque. Yeah, you don't have to do your torque pattern until you're ready. So just put them in, keep putting them in, and then we'll see you in a minute. Okay, it's all on. Wait for it to dry so I can tighten it. The only issue I had is there's a bolt right underneath the exhaust. Probably won't be able to see it. Actually, there it is. It was a pain. I had to put the socket on and then put the extension cocket. She's drying off. And then I had to twist and turn it out back and forth because I didn't want the thread right. And that's one of the original bolts. So there it is. It's about 20-30 minute job. If you have any complications with me, like with the bolts. So hopefully that gives you an idea how to change oil pan in a Ford Escort. Now an hour later we come back, or half hour later we come back and torque them to the right specs.